So Gene Deal did an interview, and he tripled down on his theory about the Amir Muhammad. He said some somewhat crazy stuff about like the Biggie stickers being on the rims of the vehicle he was in, which marked the car so people knew what car he was in. I know you don't like talking about Gene Deal, but he did mention your name. So I just wanted to see if you had any reaction to that, if you saw it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, shout out to Gene and Art. They over there doing great things. Guess they done partnered up, because I know that Gene ain't dropping nothing on this channel no more. He just been a weekly or every 2 weeks guest over there on Art. But I don't blame you, because the nigga getting numbers over there for Art, so I get it. And we do it over here at Bomb First, so how can we say anything? But Gene promoting the book. Let's call it what it is. Didn't know he's not doing a great job at promoting that book. He did a great job of promoting the book, letting us know that a book was coming. I didn't know the fucking book was out until he put it up. And I'm surprised, because enough people want to hear from Gene to where he could have got on their platforms and promoted his book. So anyway, y'all go pick up Gene's book. I don't know the name of it, but put in Gene Deal book and I'm sure it'll pop up. Go and support the brother. I'm not a hater. If I disagree with you, see, it's a difference between the relationship or my feelings towards Gene Deal versus Keefy D. Keefy D, I think he's a piece of shit. Don't give a fuck about him. Gene Deal, I just disagree with. Other than that, I don't have no problems with Gene. Actually, when I was communicating, I thought he was a cool dude. So I can't take that away from him. Just disagree. Disagree with him on this subject, of course. The only things I want to keep pointing out is he keep always throwing back to say, we saw, but no, y'all didn't see the actual shooter. He keeps wanting y'all to believe that they saw the shooter. They saw a guy, allegedly, that they were having problems with Muslims. People don't know that they were meeting with the Muslims in New York over some issues prior to all of this going down. And so Muslims been in their head the whole time in the bad boy camp because they had some issues. So 1 minute he's saying the guy that did it is somebody that got checked real tough by Puffy. We know Amir Muhammad wasn't walking around dressed up like no Muslim at the Soul Train Awards. So he let you believe that, but then he gets away from that particular person. But he always throw that incident up. But then he goes and say, Little C saw a peanut head guy with a bow tie and a blue suit. We got audio that we played. Little C said, I ain't seen shit. I know this for a fact. Little C was so motherfucking drunk that night, they were helping him out of the hospital. He couldn't walk out of the hospital on his own. If Little C's or Gene Deal tell me I'm a liar on that, they's a motherfucking liar. I'm not saying that they're a liar. I just said if they say that I'm lying about that. Little C's was so drunk, so he don't know what he saw. If he said, but he told y'all in the interview, I ain't seen shit. But I do believe that they saw a guy and put his head in the car and was hanging around. That was Shaheed Muhammad. Because that nigga's a G like that. He's no longer with us. Rest in peace, Shaheed. But Shaheed is a G like that. He runs LA streets like that when it comes to the Muslims and street dudes respect him. They're not fear of the Bloods and Crips are not a fear of the Muslims. Muslims not fear of Bloods and Crips. They like a third gang. Some of y'all say a fourth gang. It would be police, Muslims, Pyrus, and Crips. When you talk about blacks, because I'm not slighting the Mexicans because they're a gang of their own. But yeah. So I believe Shaheed did that or someone to resemble. But does that make him the guy that's sitting down the street in a car? So I don't know what Gene's theory is now, if it was a sitting at the car on the corner waiting, or if it was a drive-by while they was at the, I don't know what his position is on that, so I'm not going to quote it. I believe his position is they were sitting at the car when they drove by. They were pointing it out. But my point is, how can that guy be there and then 5 minutes later in a car down the street at a light? So the only problem I have with Gene is they keep identifying Amir Muhammad because of this crazy ass motherfucker that jumped up doing a deposition and ran across the freeway that brought Amir Muhammad name up in there. We got about 3 or 4 different Amir Muhammads that was around that crew. Amir Muhammad, David Mack's friend, that ran track with him. That's a fucking mortgage broker and all of that. That they want to try to put out talking about he was committed in a murder or something like that in Chino. Investigate that. We did an episode with Greg Cadians about that. That was some bullshit. That was some husband and wife boyfriend shit. But this dude is a real estate guy trying to live. Man, I wish this dude, he's worse than me, just letting these people say this stuff about him and not starting to sue people. But also, Stutterbox's name was Amir Muhammad. That was his Muslim name. Or he had an ID under there. But this fool throw out that name and he didn't say Amir, he said Ashmir. He said about 5 different names before he came up with that name. But y'all have to know this dude to understand this dude. He was just fishing, throwing out stuff. The dude goes to Amir Muhammad's house. He didn't know who he was. He called the fucking police on him. Hey, it's this crazy guy at my house talking about he knows who I am and doing all this. Come and get. They didn't do nothing because, you know, the FBI told him, oh no, he's our informant. We trying. He goes down to the station and complain. What happened to this guy? What happened? This guy showed up to my house doing all of this, saying all of this. What happened? Man, they are falsely identifying Amir Muhammad just because of who he knows. One thing that y'all find about from people in LA, and they didn't even know each other from LA. I guess they were cool because they were from LA, but they met at Oregon at a college. Anybody that ever went to college know you kind of get cool until you don't like them anymore. People that's from your community or your hometown. That's how you connect. Are you from LA? Oh, what's up, LA? Are you from New York? Hey, what's up, New York? And then you either like them or you don't, you know. But you give them that shot because y'all from the same area. But Gene, he's trying to sell a book. I just tell y'all to go back and look at the Broomfield thing. Y'all just don't know. Gene has identified 3 different people. Little C's say, we don't know. I didn't see nothing. We got the audio. We done played it on Ball First about 5 times what Lil C said in that interview. I'm telling y'all. And anybody that was at that hospital can tell y'all. Lil C's was drunk. Y'all know how Lil C's was. Y'all seen him dancing and shit in front of girls when he get that liquor in him. Y'all know how people get when they get drunk. And then hearing that their best friend, not best friend, the nigga that they looked up to, their role model, had just died while they were there, you devastated. Gene is misidentifying. I'm not saying he's lying. I'm not saying that. I just think they misidentifying somebody just on feelings or speculation. And that don't work in the court of law. Just because I feel this happened or I think this would happen. Just think about what all y'all used to feel until Keefy D came out and told y'all the truth about Reggie Wright and Suge. Couldn't tell most of y'all Reggie Wright and Suge and Sharitha didn't have nothing to do with the murder of Tupac. 5 to 10% of you stupid motherfuckers still believe that shit, even though Keefy D tell y'all this is what happened. Keefy D lied. He was trying to get out of a case. Keefy D ain't gonna lie to try to get out of a case in Vegas. He told them, yeah, we did Biggie. But that's too deep for most of y'all. Because that's the case that Greg Katie's wanted to solve. He didn't want no Vegas case solved. He wanted that Biggie Small case solved. Yeah.
What do you think about him saying the thing about the stickers on the rims? That was like to
That's something new.
Yeah.
This first time he started speaking on that. That's just something he done heard from Phil Carson, from the Dossier, and Russell Poole and all of that. But it was marketing and advertisement on a rental car. They were marketing. But then, I guess Poochie or Amir or whoever y'all want to believe has something to do with it, some stupid motherfucker. Because in the next breath, it was on Big's car, right? I thought Puffy was the intending target. So the stickers is on Biggie car, but we want to get Puffy. But you shoot at the car with the stickers on it? Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. I don't even think the person that's interviewing him believe that theory that he's pushing. Don't believe it.